YouTubers, thank you for joining me. Today I wanted to talk about some e.l.f. products that I found were either extremely hard to work with or they were good for the purposes that they were intended for. However, I found that they had disastrous is too much, that they had just kind of bad results. And then some of the products I did find that I could use them in other ways since I already did have the product. And e.l.f. doesn't have or offer returns to their customers. I don't know about if you were to buy e.l.f. from, say, Target or CVS, that store may be able to refund you or let you exchange it for a different e.l.f. product. However, usually when you do shop e.l.f. at a department store, you don't usually get the wide variety that they offer whereas if you were to buy them on their website. And on their website, if they are out of stock, you can always wait for that to come in stock, but you do have the wide range of varieties. If I did a video where I talked about all the e.l.f. products that I do like and have had success with, we'd be here all day. So these are just a few of the products that I figured I'd help maybe save you some money, maybe help you spend your money in a different product with e.l.f. because they do have a wide range of products. And they can, range from brushes to facial, But whether you are the advanced makeup artist or you're just starting out, they always have something for everybody. So that being said, I just wanted to talk about some of the products that didn't work for me and I felt kind of worked against me. I was raised that if you buy something that is $1 or $100, you find use for that. So the first product that I did want to talk about is this eyeshadow primer, and it is called the Shadow Lock Eyelid Primer, and it goes for $2. Now, this is what it looks like. I do apologize if my focus is off. I'm using my camera for the first time and I've never really videoed with it, so I am just starting out. So if this is unfocused, I apologize. So this one, it opens up pretty neat. It comes with a doe foot applicator. I do find that that is pretty cool, especially for using it on the eyelids. You can just kind of put that right on there. I do like that feature that it has with the doe foot. Now, after applying it, I'm going to put some on my hand just to show you that when you apply it, and I'm going to put a good amount on here, so if I am out of focus, you can get a good idea. So I'm just going to kind of put that on there pretty heavily, and keep in mind that I am using a flat surface, which is my hand. Obviously, your lids are going to be a little bit different with more multi-surfaces, especially mine. I've got the hooded eyes, and then just moving it around, the skin's a lot looser. So as you can see already, hopefully you can see this, when I am moving it to mix it in, I don't know if you can tell, but some areas kind of either don't get any product on them, or it does and it kind of wants to bunch up. And again, I'm working with a more flat surface, so if you don't have this, or I should say, if you do have this, you understand my trouble. And I already have enough issues with working with products that do work. I don't need anything that's going to be working against me. So this does take a long time to kind of dry, but then again, it is hard to get it even. So there, I got it as even as I can. So I'm going to go in now with my MAC, and this is Dance in the Dark because this is one of the darker shades that I have, and it's an easy color to blend. I don't have any e.l.f. eyeshadows, so you see it kind of goes in there, and I hope you can tell on there, but it is patchy the way that it goes on, and the more that you blend it, I don't know if you can tell, it just seems to get lighter. And it doesn't seem to want to blend well. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and give you just an example. This is the Urban Decay, the Anti-Aging Eyeshadow Primer, and I got these as a sample when I got my Naked 3 palette. So I'm just going to go ahead and get a little bit of that, and I'm going to put it right underneath the e.l.f. Actually, for argument's sake, I'll get a little bit more. And I am going to, see that just kind of rubs in, goes into the skin evenly. And so I've got that down right underneath. And I'm letting it dry for the same amount that I did with the e.l.f. And then here I go back in with the same color. And I'm going to put about the same amount that I did on the other one. Okay, and look at the color. You can just already see I haven't mixed it as much as I did with the e.l.f. Actually, to be fair, I'm going to go ahead and mix it. And I'm mixing it really good, a lot heavier than I would if this was on my eyelids. But so can you notice the difference in the color there? It's almost like the e.l.f. wanted to mix in with the eyeshadow, so it kind of made it this off, I don't know, it made it kind of a weird color. So that's what I'm talking about with that. It just seemed to want to mix in with it, didn't want to really set, and you know, the more you move around, it just makes it more of a hassle. So, but before you take this like I wanted to and walk out of your house and throw this thing as far as you can, as far as the eye can see, you can use this, if you already have it, as sort of something to put down to make your lipstick that may be a little too bright or a little too deep. You can use this to make it a little bit lighter. It already has the doe foot applicator on there. Just go ahead and put that down on your lips before, and then it'll mix in with that lipstick that maybe is a little bit too dark or maybe too bright, so you can kind of tone down those shades. So that's what I figured I would use it for. If you're having success with this, maybe you can let me know how. I, have tried it in several different ways, and it just seemed to be a headache every single time. So I do think that it will work better as far as toning down lipsticks. So the next product that I am going to talk about is the e.l.f. HD powder. Now, this I got because I was looking for something to take some shine off of my lower eyelids. The concealers that I use seem to leave like a weird shine, not like that glowy shine, but more of a greasy shine. So I wanted to try something out, and I happened to see this at Target, I believe, and this retails for $6. So I thought, oh, this sounds pretty cool. Looked it up. It says it kind of makes a soft focus. It's supposed to absorb oils, which it does very well. I was very impressed with it. However, I am going to insert a clip right here, and as you can see, it loves the camera. This puppy shined like nothing else. I was actually taking a picture to check my foundation, and I happened to notice my eyes were glowing. And upon further inspection and trying to figure out what it was exactly that I used after I'd been using this for a while, I noticed that it was the e.l.f. HD powder that was giving that crazy flashback. And I should mention that that picture was taken after I had worn it the whole day. I will say that this does take off the shine. If you have oil or anything like that, it really picks it up well and, leaves your face feeling very nice and soft. However, you don't want to be around flash photography if you are wearing this, because as you could see in the picture, it just puts a high beam off like crazy. So this I got in the color Sheer. They do have, I believe, a couple other shades. I can't think of them off the top of my head. It does work for what it's intended for, but it does kind of have an off effect. So just keep that in mind. So that leads me into the next product that I wanted to talk about, which is the High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. Now, I don't have anything bad to say about this product. I think it's great. I will insert a picture right here that I took with flash. And the only reason there is a little bit of extra brightness underneath my eye is about a product I'm going to talk about next. But this is a good product. It works just fine. The only thing that I wanted to mention about this is that you can pick up the RCMA powder for $12, and you can get this online. I got mine at Beauty Friends. I'll link that below. And I found that with this you get only 0.4 ounces, and with this you are getting 3 ounces. Now, I did the math on this, and if you were to buy enough of these to fill this up, you're going to pay $225. So this is a great product to check out to see how you would like a setting powder, but in the long run, if you do want to save yourself money, and that's usually what I'm looking for, is something that's going to save me money in the long run, I don't mind buying bulk. So that's usually what I'm looking for, but I did happen to see this, picked it up, and then found out about the RCMA, and I went ahead and got this. I ordered it online, so with shipping it came out to around $16, but still it sure beats the $225 it would take of these to fill it in. So this one, like I said, is a great product to check out. See how you would like a setting powder, just see if it's something that you would want before you invest in something bigger. But if you do enjoy this and want something, in a larger size, you can go ahead and pick up something like this. And this has been said by many of the gurus that it is just as good as the Laura Mercier setting powder, which is, I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head how much that costs, but I know it's quite a bit more than this and does the same thing. I've actually heard that it works better. So again, this is the RCMA, and this you can get online. I'm not sure if any stores, local stores, carry that, but you can be on the lookout for that if you do enjoy the e.l.f. Sometimes with buying products at a cheaper rate, like the dollar store, you think, oh my gosh, it's only this. But when you look at it in long terms, if you're only getting 0.04 ounces, and then you think about something that might be a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, it's going to save you money. So the next product that I am going to talk about is the Cover Everything Concealer by e.l.f. Now, the reason that I picked this up was because I was looking for an orange concealer to help with my dark circles. I have heard that orange helps, and I don't know if it looks orange here, but it's more pinky. It does have orange tones to it, but if you look on the website at this product, it looked really orange. So that's actually, again, why I picked it up. So this retails for $2. I should mention that that setting powder retails for $3. Okay, so when I used this, it seemed to have good coverage. I'm going to go ahead and use it on my hand. So it goes on, it's quite greasy feeling, but it gives pretty good coverage. But once you start moving it around, it really doesn't want to stick. And I found it doesn't want to stay and set, even if you do use a setting powder. I have tried several different powders to try to get this to stop moving, and it just seems to want to keep moving around. So like I said, I have set, and the other day I wore this just to kind of cover up some areas. I wasn't really wearing that much makeup, and I did set it with powder, and I was wearing sunglasses, and I didn't take a picture of it because it was one of those moments where you lift up and you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, make it stop, and thinking about all the people that you'd been talking to where you kind of looked like a lunatic. So that was the experience that I had. It does seem to want to settle into creases because it keeps moving around. The warmer you get, it was a warm day, so it just wants to keep moving no matter how much you set it. I think that maybe this might work also to tone down a lipstick, but if you're looking for something that is going to conceal and stay in its spot and not have yucky effects, then you probably will want to steer clear from this one. Okay, so the last products that I'm going to talk about are the primers, and I only have 2 of them. I know that they have about 4, and these primers go for $6. So they're a little bit on the higher price range of the e.l.f. products, and I got the ones in the mineral infused face primer, and then I also got the hydrating face primer. Now I'm just going to put some on the back of my hand, just a nice little dab of it, and go ahead and put that in. And then I will, on the bottom half of my hand, put a little bit, around the same amount, of the hydrating. So, as you can see, the hydrating one is very wet. It's hydrating. And the mineral one, I'm not sure if you can tell, is sinking in, but it's still very wet. Okay, it's sinking in a lot more than the hydrating one, but I found that no matter how long that I waited, these products did not dry down. And ain't nobody got time for that. You know, in my opinion, a face primer is something that you put on to help seal up the pores, help your makeup stick, seal up fine lines, and it should be drying down. Still moving, they're still very wet, especially this hydrating one. It just keeps moving. And then I did find with the mineral infused one, this one, when it finally does dry down, if you are to rub it, like if you're going to put in your foundation, a liquid foundation, I find that it starts to ball up. So maybe using a little bit less, but as you can see, I didn't use that much, and I'm still, you know, it's still wet, so I'd still be waiting to put on my foundation, unless you don't mind waiting. I already wait long enough when I'm putting on my creams and things like that, so I don't want to have to wait on a primer. And throughout this time, it still, neither one of them have dried down. So I do think that these are nice. They feel good. Maybe you could use them on days that you're not using makeup, maybe days for this hydrating one that you want to just get a little extra moisture in your face and you're not going to be using any types of liquid foundations. I did find that this hydrating one still moves around even when you use the powder. And the mineral infused one, you just want to make sure that you're not moving it around too much or else it will ball up. They do feel good on the skin, you know, very, very nice. So the hydrating one never seems to dry down until it's wiped off. And the mineral one does dry down, but again, you have to be careful with it so it doesn't ball up on you. And it does also take quite a while to dry down. So that being said, they are good if you have them, but again, I'd use them on days where you're just using powder or on days that you aren't using anything else, just something to kind of give your face a little extra nutrients. Okay, so those were the only products that I found were a little bit hard to work with, that didn't work in the intended purpose, and I was hoping maybe I could help you out with maybe using your money towards something else if you haven't purchased these already, or if you have purchased them, I hope I helped you out with finding out a different use for them. And I hope that you found this useful and it saved you some money, or you can still use these products without chucking them in the garbage and wasting your money. So again, whether you spend $1 or $100, I want to help you try to get some use out of it. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you have a great day or evening, whatever you've got going on, and I will see you next time. Peace.